10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Good afternoon everybody. Today my team and I will be performing a skit for our creative presentation. The topic will be Little Red Riding Hood. For Irene himself, he will be acting as the hunter, Ignatius as the narrator and little girl, Kaiman will be the wolf, and myself will be the grandmother. So enjoy the skit.
Once, there was a little girl who lived with her mother in a house at the edge of the forest. The little girl always wore a red cloak and hood that grandmother had made for her. That's why everyone, even her mother, called her Little Red Riding Hood. One day, Little Red Riding Hood's mother said to her,
Grandmother is not feeling well. I have packed a basket with fruit, cakes and honey. Will you take it to her?
Yes, mother.
Be careful going through the forest and don't play around along the way. Grandmother is waiting for you.
Yes, mother.
Little Red Riding Hood took the basket and was on her way to grandmother's house. Little Red Riding Hood had gone but a short way into the forest when a great wolf stepped out from behind a tree.
Ow! Good morning, Little Red Riding Hood. Where are you going on this fine day?
I am going to see grandmother on the other side of the forest. She is ill and I bring her fruits, cakes and honey.
Why not bring her some wildflowers as well? There are so many to pick from the forest.
I cannot stop. Mother said I must not play around along the way.
Picking flowers is not playing around. Besides, a bunch of pretty flowers will cheer your grandmother up and make her feel better.
Perhaps you are right.
Little Red Riding Hood put down her basket and began to pick wildflowers. Meanwhile, the wolf slipped away and sped to the other area.
Come in dear, the door is open.
As soon as the wolf was inside, he ran over to the bed and gobbled up grandmother whole, leaving only her blanket and nightcap. He put on the nightcap and wrapped himself in the blanket. Then, he crawled into bed to wait for the Little Red Riding Hood. Before long, there was a knock at the door.
Who is it?
It is I, Little Red Riding Hood. I have bought you fruits, cakes and honey, and a bunch of pretty wildflowers to cheer you.
Come in, the door is open.
Little Red Riding Hood went in and stood for a moment in the doorway.
Oh grandmother, what big ears you have.
The better to hear you with, my dear. Come closer.
Little Red Riding Hood walked closer to the bed.
Oh grandmother, what big eyes you have.
The better to see you with, my dear. Come closer.
Little Red Riding Hood walked even closer to the bed.
Oh grandmother, what big teeth you have.
The better to eat you with.
The wolf grabbed Little Red Riding Hood and gobbled her up whole. Then, feeling full and satisfied, the wolf lay down and fell asleep. Now, it happened that a woodcutter was passing grandmother's cottage just then. He knew the old woman had been feeling poorly, so he decided to look in on her. When he saw the wolf snoring on the bed, he knew at once what had happened.
Ah! I have you at last! You sick! You devil!
The woodcutter slew the wolf with his axe.
I'm gonna cut you up right now, you... Oh...
Then, the woodcutter took a carving knife and very carefully he slit open the wolf's belly.
That's the way, you... Oh...
Out popped out Little Red Riding Hood and her grandmother, safe and whole, just as the wolf had swallowed them. Oh, grandmother, how happy I am to see you.
And I am happy to see you, child.
Thank you, woodcutter. How
No.
am I to repay you?
No problem. That's my job to remove this type of people from the jungle. Now let's all have a nice dinner together.
Then, grandmother gave Little Red Riding Hood a hug. Then, Little Red Riding Hood, grandmother, and the woodcutter sat down to feast on the dining table.
That's all, folks.
Tick tock, 6 o'clock, there's that old alarm again.
So now, in the alternate universe, the whole story became different. But first, let me introduce you to the characters. This is the grandmother, the hunter, the wolf, and Little Red Riding Hood.
Okay.
One day, Little Red Riding Hood left her grandmother's house back to her own house. On the way home, she met with this charming, beautiful woodcutter. When they fell in love with each other,
Oh, I'm gonna marry you. I'm gonna marry you.
they went on dates, proms, as well as viewing the sunset together. On one special occasion, it was their honeymoon. But unfortunately, there was a terrible accident that happened on that day itself. There was a
Riding Hood, I'm coming for you.
There was a drunk driver that happened along the way, and the unfortunate thing happened.
It's been a long day without you, my friend.
Woodcutter was pronounced dead at the scene. Little Red Riding Hood has
From where
left
we began,
her life forever.
I'm gonna die alone.
From there on, she was alone till eternity. So guys, the moral of the story is don't drive and drink! What the?
The woodcutter slew the wolf with his axe.
I'm gonna cut you up now, you eat.
One day, Little Red Riding Hood left her grandmother's house back to her own house. On the way home, she met with this charming, beautiful woodcutter. And as they started talking out, they eventually